Bitcoin is testing June lows while the market is relatively flat today, other than the the NASDAQ, which is up a little over 1% right now. S&P up 0.64, Dow Jones up 0.19 with about 10 minutes till closing right now. Of course, the big news in the NASDAQ is Tesla with the Tesla upgrade coming. The shares have jumped 10%, which is boosting the NASDAQ value. So we'll continue to see how this plays out, with Morgan Stanley calling for $400 on Tesla, maybe even up to $500 billion to the company's value long term. In other news, Jamie Dimon says that it's a huge mistake to think the economy will boom for years with so many risks. So mixed sentiment out there amongst investors and markets. But the big news is Bitcoin testing this June low again that we saw recently at 25,000. The low put in back then was 24,700, right back on June the 15th. So we'll see if Bitcoin can hold that. If Bitcoin breaks that 25,000 level, then your next stop is going to be that let me see, right in here, about 24, 23, right here at the 0.5 fib level, and then back down to the 618 at 21,000, ultimately down to 20,000. If that breaks, then you could start looking for previous lows that were set back in November. If this is a head and shoulders playing out, like some people have called it, then the break point right here moved over, brings it down to 17,000 and change, 18,000 basically, which was that previous high back on December 14th of 2022. So this is the current price action of Bitcoin. A lot of noise out there about Binance and what's going on with BNB. And, obviously, Bitcoin losing a little bit of steam after all the news about Grayscale's win and things like that, and ETFs coming. None of that is guaranteed. None of that necessarily means just because the Grayscale won their lawsuit does not mean that Bitcoin is going, or that their fund is automatically going to be able to be converted to an ETF. It just means that now they have they have the right to at least have that looked at and their application reviewed. But the speculation is Gary Gensler is going to fight this to the death. As long as he's there, he's not going to approve these. But then the other half of the game says that he will approve all of the ETFs at some point, maybe by the end of the year, maybe Q1 next year. I was on a Twitter Spaces yesterday with John Reed Stark. We had a really good discussion about a lot of things crypto. Go check out his Twitter profile, look for that Spaces. It was really good information about the SEC, what's going on with crypto regulation, the Grayscale suit, and what his thoughts are on whether or not any ETFs will get approved this year or at all, as long as Gary Gensler's in charge. And he's of the opinion that as long as Gary Gensler's in there, and the more hate that he gets, the more firm he's going to be on these things. So pretty interesting in terms of speculation out there. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Same thing, Ethereum, if you're looking at a head and shoulders pattern here, that brings Ethereum back down to that support around $1,100 right here with that November low. And then the other big news is Solana with FTX. Everybody looking for a liquidation on Solana back down to the $8 range, which would be the 29 of December 2022 low. So just want to do a quick update today. A little bit going on. We've got CPI coming out. Right now, the Fed is, the market's pricing in that the Fed is going to pause again in September and not hike rates unless we get a really hot CPI print and really hot job news and things like that. But right now it looks like the Fed is planning on pausing at their meeting next week, and we will keep you updated. I'll see you on the next video.